Hey guys, I'm Tammy. I am a playspace owner here in Sacramento, California, and sometimes I do videos regarding my journey of owning a playspace and kind of sharing my knowledge with you guys in case you guys are also interested or have been running a playspace. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about employees, about how I find my employees, what kind of qualities to look for, and a little bit about just payroll tips and how we run our payroll stuff. So the first thing is, how do we find our employees? So a lot of our employees are actually referrals from people that we know or actually even members. We usually try to post out like a job opportunity requests on either my personal Facebook or our business pages and just say, hey, we're looking for XYZ employee. They need to have these type of qualifications. If you know anybody that's interested, please have them message me their resume at this email address. That has worked really, really well for us. And I feel like it usually works really well just because you have a connection with the person they're referring to. So they generally tend to be a little bit more reliable in that aspect because, they want to make a good impression, not just on you, but also on the person that is referring them as well. And I do like it sometimes that, it might be a member or another mom I know. I have 7 staff members, and a lot of my staff are younger kids. And it's really nice to be able to have a connection between me and another parent in that regard. Okay, what kind of qualifications do we look for when we're looking for an employee? So generally, some of the basic qualifications when I'm doing interviews is I'm wanting to find somebody that's a self-starter, that can work easily by themselves. A good problem solver is usually really great. And it's just somebody that's self-sufficient. Somebody that also is a quick learner is also key as well. We also require that they do light cleaning and maybe a little bit of lifting. Not a lot of weight, but just a little bit of lifting as well. We do clean our toys every single day, so we make it really known that they're gonna have to clean while they're there. It's a fun job, but it's not a job where you're not required to clean at all, like an office job. Cashiering knowledge also is ideal, or just somebody that can learn cashiering. So as far as employees go, I generally do recommend finding somebody or finding staff somebody that can have hours that is just for opening and somebody that can have hours just for closing. And then also somebody that has flexible hours too. You do need somebody on staff that has flexible hours, somebody that doesn't have major responsibilities in their life and that can come in on call basically. Because as a business owner, sometimes it's really hard for you to be able to be in your brick and mortar for several different reasons. You might have an emergency that's behind the scenes that you need to take care of for your business. Or if you are anything like me, where I started my business to be with my kids every single day, not every single day can your kids come to work with you because they might get sick, they might have a doctor's appointment, things like that. It's not professional to bring your sick kid into work. So in those type of emergencies, you need to have some sort of backup plan for somebody to be able to come to your space to open or close if something like that were to happen. I also have lots of teenagers on staff. I really like high school students as your staff members because they don't require a lot of hours. They're kind of just filler staff. You kind of just fit them in where they're needed, and they can only work during the peak times of your place-based business. Our peak times are the weekends because of the birthday parties. So generally we have a lot of our staff members work during the weekends to kind of fill those birthday party needs. And also we have a lot of our staff that are only there just for special events. They only come once a month, twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, but they don't require a set amount of hours. They don't require a set time that they have to be there. And they are kind of just floater employees. So if you have those type of employees, that's really key. And finding college students or high school students, those are perfect for those positions because they don't require a set amount of hours and they usually are pretty flexible in their schedule. Okay, paying your employees. So I definitely recommend getting a payroll service. I did not want to deal with the minutia of learning how to calculate payroll, learning where I was supposed to send certain documentation. So I actually use Square Payroll for that. And I really like that my Square Payroll allows my employees to clock in and clock out. And when payroll is due, it sends me a notification letting me know that payroll is due, and it runs all the payroll and does all the calculations and stuff for me, so I don't have to do that. And then it sends all any kind of documentation that needs to be sent to the state or the government, and it also deducts any taxes from the employees that need to be deducted. So I don't have to deal with that, which I really, really like, okay? The other thing I wanted to mention about payroll is I actually do allow my employees to gather tips and stuff. And I think this is really important because when you're running a birthday party business, because I feel like birthday parties, even though they're fun, they can be really stressful. And I think that my employees that work really hard deserve to be able to get tips. So if they do receive a tip during the time that they collect the payment from the guests, then I usually put tips on their payroll, and that goes directly to them whenever they receive a tip from a party. So that's a little bit about what type of employees I have and a little bit of insight on what type of employees that you'll need to run your PlaySpace. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up more tips and tricks, and follow me on Instagram. I am at playspace owner. If you're interested, sometimes I do lives or sometimes I do behind the scenes videos. So you can follow along with me on my PlaySpace journey. Talk to you next time. Bye.